Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the League Dad here. I just wanted to make a quick video on just some of the things that have been going on in the Discord the past couple of days. I think there's been a lot of things that have been communicated that may have been received improperly. I think, and whenever trying to mass communicate to a whole community, sometimes I think things get lost in translation. And so this video is hopefully a way for me to clear things up for you if you were confused or didn't understand what's going on. And a lot of this has to do with some of the standards that are in place, the expectations that are in place for crew leaders, and the enforcement of those things. So the first thing I wanted to start off is by reiterating our community values. Our first and foremost core value has been and will always be our relationships, right? And so we've always said that this is a place where we want you to make genuine friendships, because in the long run, even if you move on from this community, what are you going to take with it? And I hope that your answer would be that you would take relationships and that you will have supporters and friends even beyond this community. And so that's our first and foremost core value. Now, how do we do that? Everything I told you that we've done in this community is to help support that main value. And so what has happened is that we've always had these expectations in place. When you're onboarded, you've seen the crew member expectations. In fact, they're reiterated to you over and over again. The problem is that there is a disconnect with people not reading their announcements like they're supposed to, which is one of the expectations, or for whatever reason, it gets lost in translation, right? And so what's happening is that these expectations have been there for a while. They just haven't been strictly enforced. And we felt like it was time for us to really start doing that, because what we were seeing is a growing number of feedback from people saying that, hey, we have a crew of about 50 people, but literally there are 5 to 10 people that are actually active. And it was sad because I would see some crews that were like this, and then some crews that were really thriving and really taking a full benefit of having a full or close to full group of active members. And so some crews would have lots of people watching them on OMC-TV, and then other crews where they weren't getting any support. And so it would really hurt me to see people that were giving their all and not getting anything back. And I felt that the way that we needed to correct this problem was to actually enforce our expectations, because this makes it fair for everyone that's in a crew. Because if you're a crew member, I would hope that you would expect to get some minimum level of support. That's the whole point, right? That you have friendships, you have relationships, but you're also there to support each other. And in the same token, you are there and you should expect to receive that same kind of support back. Because if we're asking you to give support, then you should be getting that same type of support. And so these standards are put in place so that it makes it somewhat fair to everybody, right? Because if somebody on one end is supporting but the other person isn't, then it becomes unfair. And that's why we put these expectations in place. They're nothing new. They've been there since the beginning, but now crew leaders are actually being instructed to start enforcing these things. So don't be mad at your crew leaders if this is the first time you're seeing this. These things have been communicated, but I wanted to talk about some of them. One is points tracking, right? So the OMC-TV, as you know, you earn watch points, right? I'm not even talking about stream points or ratio. Don't even worry about that right now. What I'm focusing on is, are you using this tool? First of all, the OMC-TV was never meant to be some kind of quick fix way to achieve partner. I know a lot of people have asked me this, like, are you applying for partner? And if you've heard me say this, I say it over and over again. I am not looking to apply for partner anywhere, because here's a news flash for you, and I hate to break this to you. This is not going to help you get partner. Twitch and I hope this is nothing new to you. I assume many people knew this, but it seems like not a lot of people know this. But when you get views from multi-Twitch places or any sites that have embed links, such as like the OMC-TV, Twitch, when they review your application for partnership, look at this. And so views that you get from hosts, raids, or any kind of multi-Twitch site, including the OMC-TV, are not factored in when you're applying for partner. And so don't think that, oh, this is going to boost my views and I can apply for partner. That is farthest from the truth. Now, what this thing will do is, if you do have more views, it'll bump you higher in your directory of the game that you're playing. And that's always a good thing. And there are plenty beneficial ways that the OMC-TV tool can help you. For example, me, I know that I've been able to pop into way more streams than I used to before because of its customization for our entire crew. And so it has a lot of benefits, but that's just it. The OMC TV is a tool. It is not meant to be the fix-all method of solving your Twitch problems or getting you to that spot that you've always wanted to be. At the end of the day, what's going to get you to your goals, to your partnership goals, or whatever it is you're striving for is you. You still have to put in the work. You still have to make sure your content's great. You have to sell yourself as a brand. Are people going to want to watch you, want to subscribe to you, want to follow you, want to tell their friends about you? And if you can honestly say that, I don't know if they will, then that's on you. All right. The OMC TV tool is a tool, and it was never meant to take the place of relationships. It is something that I felt and the other leaders felt would be beneficial and a kind of a perk for being a crew member for you guys to have. And that's why we pocketed this out of our own money to provide this great, amazing thing for you guys. But relationships come first. And this is a way that can help you build on those relationships, because we see so many people, especially now when we talk to them about inactivity, saying, well, I can't be there because I'm in a different time zone. I can't be there because I work 3 jobs. Guess what? The OMC TV tool is the exact reason we created this. So you can't be there during their stream? Leave the OMC TV up. You're able to support them even when you're not there. So there's no excuse, because the TV tool was designed for just this, because we heard your feedback saying, I can't be in all of the streams because I got this schedule and they're all in different schedules. Well, now you can support. And that's the whole point of the OMC TV. Other people say, well, I can't run this when I'm streaming. I never run it when I'm streaming. I wouldn't expect you to. It can get resource heavy while you're trying to stream too. So it's not meant to be something that you use all the time. It's meant to use and leave up when you're not at your computer. So when I get off my computer around 6 p.m. Eastern, I leave it, but I leave my tab up and I go about the rest of my day. I come back into the morning. I've accumulated points for whenever my crew, goes up, and watching them that way. So that's what the OMC TV is for. Now, what are the points for? The points tell us if people are actually watching it and leaving a tab up. All right. And so what we're doing is we're taking screenshots of a starting point and then looking at it again in a few days and eventually a week, and just seeing if people are accumulating points. Now, we have soft thresholds. Okay. There's not a hard number, but we're looking at what's probably reasonable for people to leave up. We know there's a lot of issues with data caps and people not having fast PCs or whatever the reasons may be. So we're not saying that there's some hard specific number that you got to meet. But is there any activity? And for the people that have been contacted that are complaining, they're the ones that we've seen 0 points. They have never even opened it up. And that's sad, because it's not fair for those who have been doing this diligently and supporting their crew diligently. And we feel like we've given enough time now for you to get set up and enough time for you to get used to it, get it running. And so that's why we have to put these standards in place. And finally, activity levels in the Discord, being engaged with your crew. Leaving the tool up is great, but again, our core value is relationships, and you can't build relationships if you don't talk to people. And so the whole point is are you being active in your crew chat? That is a measure for relationships. It's not something that, it's a standard that is used to support our main core value, which is in building relationships. And that's what it's there for. And that's what our crew leaders are instructed to look for. So now let's move on. Is the OMC a view bot? We get this. I've addressed this before. It is not a view bot. Okay. There's no kind of bot within your stream. There is no actual robot that is viewing you. These are live people. Everyone that's watching has an account. They're live people. It is not a bot. It is not against Twitch's terms of service. However, like I said before, it will not count towards your average viewership. So if you're trying to get partner and you're looking at that 75 average viewers, that needs to be 75 average viewers without hosts, without raids, without multi-Twitch sites or anything that embeds views, just like the OMC TV. Okay. So I hope that's clear to you that this is not going to help you get partner. It will help you list higher in directories. So when you're in a game, people will see you listed higher. And I've gotten plenty of views that way. That's great. But again, it's mainly a tool for crew members to help support the rest of their team. And so that's why we've made it. That was the initial and has always been the reason for it. It was never meant for a quick way for somebody to get partner, especially me. People are saying, well, you're just trying to get partner. Trust me, I'm not even looking to apply for partner. It's never been my goal to get this thing up and then apply for partner. I have a long ways to go. And I say this because I have a lot of friends who are much better streamers than me who have gotten denied partner over and over again. So I know what it takes to get there. I know for a fact I'm not there yet. So I am here to enjoy the ride and get there when it's time to go. So I hope that answers that question. Now, some of you ask, can I get out of the OMC-TV? Can I not be listed here? For whatever reason, if you still feel uncomfortable being pulled up, like having your stream pulled up in the TV, yes, we can unlink you, or you just don't need to link your account if you haven't done it yet. However, we will still ask that you watch the rest of your crew members. Again, this is for the reason of supporting others. If you're in a crew, then that means you've agreed to the expectations we've set forth. Some of the expectations are reading the announcements, and we're going to come up with ways that this is easier to do, because I know pinned messages can get lost in crew chat, even though you can check it, but we're going to make separate channels just for announcements so that you can stay up to date with what's going on. Yes, that's a requirement, because if you're part of the crew, then you're saying, I want to be engaged, and if it's hard for you to read announcements, then you don't want to be engaged. So that is part of the requirements. Another requirement is to stay active in Discord. I'm sorry, but yes, you have jobs, I have jobs, we have families, but that's the point of being in a crew. We're saying that yes, despite all that, we want to make an effort and carve out time to get to know each other. And so that's why it's important to be active in Discord. And then the OMC-TV, leaving it up. This has got to be the easiest way to support your crew. Literally, it takes 2 seconds to leave a tab open, pull up your crew, and then walk away. Now, some people might say, well, what about data cap usage? Okay, that's fine. Leave it up when you can. It's like I said, there's no hard number, but are you being active in Discord as well? Right? Because it's not everything. So let's say you have data cap issues, fine. But if you're also inactive in Discord, then that means you're not engaged. You don't want to be engaged. And look, I think people think that when they're not in a crew, then they're not welcome here. That is farthest from the truth. What we want this place to be is a place for everyone. However, if you want to be part of a crew, then it's only fair that there's a standard so that everyone that's in a crew knows that they are going to get the same kind of support that they're giving out. That's the whole point of it. Making relationships. And if that's not you, then there are no hard feelings. Tell your crew leader that you just don't have the time right now, and we can move you to the supporter role. And you know what? If down the line you're like, well, I have time to commit to that, then reach out to one of the leaders and we'll put you right back on. It's not an all or nothing. It's not a thing where if you're not meeting the expectations, then you're out of here. I don't know why people ever took that. That's why we have the supporter role. It's there for people who want to meet people for, stream networking, want to meet people for playing games together, but with no kind of pressure, no kind of expectation. But we do limit crew members or crews to a certain amount of people. So we want to make sure that every spot is full of only active people who have said, yes, I can commit to the expectations that are required of me as a crew member. So all of that said, I just wanted to say that I know it's a lot of news. Please don't be hard on your crew leaders. They're only doing what the OMC legends have instructed them to do. And that's basically, let's start enforcing these standards so that people will start to receive the support that they've been looking for. Because like I said, some crews have they have 50 members, but only a small percentage are actually active, and it's not fair to them. And we want to start getting it to where every single crew has the same kind of support level and activity level as another crew. That way it doesn't matter which crew you're in, everyone's receiving that same kind of support. So you can look at this as kind of a purge, kind of a filtering out of people. And again, no one is, barred from the Discord. You're more than welcome to be a supporter, but let your crew leaders know. One final thing I want to say is that, look, real life happens, right? If you can't be there for a certain time, if you can't be there like for a week, you're going on vacation, it's impossible for you to get on, or you're just going through a tough time right now and you won't be able to be on for the next few days, that's okay. But please tell your crew leaders. I've seen so many messages where people will get mad at a crew leader saying, I have 2 jobs. I've been doing this all week. I've been studying. I've been, taking care of my family. And now you're telling me I'm not being active? Look, the whole thing is that did you ever tell your crew leader? Look, our crew leaders are not mind readers. They don't know what's going on in your life. And the fact is that if you haven't contacted them, then that means you aren't engaged and you're not connected with your crew. All we're saying is that let them know that you got stuff going on. And I guarantee you, crew leaders are not going to be like, well, that's it. You're out of here. Absolutely not. And if they do, then you tell me. But I promise you, they know that real life happens because all of us have real life stuff too. So if there's ever a time where you're like, I'm going to be out for a little bit, let your crew leader know, please. That's all it takes. It does not take anything else. They have very limited tools to know what's actually happening. And the points are just one of the few tools they have. And so if they don't see you and if they don't see points, then all they know is that you are missing. And they don't know what's going on in your life. They're not mind readers. So if something has to happen, then you got to tell them. And I guarantee you they'll be okay with it as long as you let them know what's going on. All right. I know that kind of seemed like a rant. It's really not. I'm really just trying to ease your minds. I know there's a lot of questions going on, Twitch changing this partnership thing. But look, the intention of the OMC-TV was never to push for some kind of partner thing. Anybody that knows me knows that I haven't even thought about applying for partner. Everybody has DM'd me asking if I'm applying for partner, knows that I have said no with the quickness because I understand this has not been a secret for Twitch forever. It's just something that they're actually publicizing now, but they've always considered what your views are coming from. It's nothing new. Again, it's still a great tool. It still helps, like I said, with listing in your directory, but please don't look at it as like the magical answer for you to get partner. I hope you weren't putting all your eggs in that basket because that's not going to happen. True relationships are what's going to get you the support, the long-lasting organic support that you're after. So please don't give up on that. And if you have any questions, I promise you, if you just talk to your crew leaders, they will help you. Okay, don't attack them. And if you have something mean to say about them, or if you have anything mean to say about anything, then let me know because nothing has happened here without my okay, my saying, giving the okay. And same with the other OMC legends. We've all agreed that this is the direction we want to go, and I hope you'll be on board. So again, if you have any questions, DM your crew leaders or DM myself. But look, we're getting bigger. We're going to keep getting bigger. And if you're in a crew right now, and if you're sticking it out, then just thank you for being there and stay patient. We're going to fill your crew up with only active members so that you're getting the support that you should be getting because we understand you're putting in work. You should be getting that same kind of support back. So thank you for sticking it out. Thank you for always being awesome. And we're just going to continue to try to keep making this thing as best as we can for the entire community. All right. So have a great day. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys soon.